We're taking you to the movies. I'm Eric.
I'm Nathan.
And we are
Notes
and Nerds. Alright guys, in this episode we're going to be talking about the big summer blockbusters coming out.
And the summer stinkers.
And one that we're kind of on the fence with. So let's start off with the big family sequel coming out, How to Train Your Dragon 2, starring Jay Birchall, Gerard Butler, and Craig Ferguson. This one takes place after the franchise series, not necessarily the first movie, because they're all connected. It's great. This one, he's finding his mother, an island full of other dragons, and a new evil that they have to face that disrupts the serenity and the cohabitation of the humans of Burke and the dragons of Burke.
Yep. And who doesn't love Toothless? Great character.
Definitely. If you don't like dragons, you're dead inside.
Yeah.
So with this movie, I definitely give it a big Vulcan hands up.
I give it a straight devil horns in the air.
Next up is Transformers 4, Age of Extinction.
Yeah, because they're more than meets the eye.
Michael Bay gets a lot of flack for the Transformers franchise, but
Knock
personally,
it off.
there's nothing wrong with it. If you
Transformers 2 was a little E, but all the other ones, 3 came back hard.
Oh, it definitely did. It was a great plot, great story, very well developed.
Leonard Nimoy.
From beginning to the end. And Leonard Nimoy coming back to Transformers, because he used to do the voice of Galvatron in the 1988 Transformers theatrical cartoon movie.
Exactly.
Now, with this film, we got Mark Wahlberg, John Goodman, and Nicola Peltz. Mark Wahlberg is replacing Shia LaBeouf, so we definitely got to trade up on that one.
Yeah.
And
No more lemon, we got a Ferrari.
yay! This movie brings in the Dinobots as the villains. They're an evil that both the Decepticons and the Autobots do not like and are fearful of, and they come to Earth basically to destroy us.
Yep.
And keep in mind that the humans of Earth do not trust the Transformers because of what happened in Part 3. So this is not a reboot, but a continuation of the series.
I can't wait to see it because I like Michael Bay films and I don't care.
There's a few of his that are stinkers, but this is definitely this franchise.
I like what he did with Transformers. I like the look, and I like all the CGI work. I mean, I cannot wait to see it. I will be the person to give it devil horns way up in the air.
Definitely the same for me with the Vulcan up. Next up is this year's sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, starring Gary Oldman, Andy Serkis, and Kerry Russell.
First off, I like Andy Serkis. He is a really good character actor. I mean, he does some good parts, as an actor, but his character roles are really good, like Gollum and King Kong and
Caesar from the Planet of the Apes movies. The great thing about this franchise is it's a reboot of the Planet of the Apes saga, but at the same time, it's not at the point where it's overlapping and taking over the original stuff. This is actually backstory stuff, prequel kind of material, where we're finding out what happened on Earth before Charlton Heston, as an astronaut, crashed on future Earth, where the apes have evolved to the point of taking over.
I really liked Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I thought it was really good. I liked Franco in it. I liked John Lithgow, and just how they were developing this cure for Alzheimer's. And the one thing I'm kind of about is because Franco ain't going to be in this.
We're from the way it looks, he's not in it at all. What we would hope to see is some kind of,
right off,
a shout out to him. Like, unfortunately, Caesar's trying to find his friend James, Franco's character, but unfortunately died to the virus that is ravaging the Earth, and that's where a lot of the humans that are in the movie are remnants of the society. So with this film, because I love the first one, definitely giving it a big Vulcan up.
I'm not happy that Franco is not going to be in this, but I still love the movie. Andy Serkis is awesome, so I'm going to give it devil horns right up in the air.
Next up is Marvel's Cinematic Universe entry of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Avengers in space.
Pretty much. It is following a lot of the same stuff you see in all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films from Disney Marvel. But it's going to be a fun film. It's going to be great.
Comedy action.
Yeah, it's definitely got the comedy element. If you've seen the trailer, it's got the comedy element, but it's done right.
You got Bradley Cooper, you got Vin Diesel, you got
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's in there, and Batista.
Batista's in there, and the gal who played, I cannot think of her name right now, I don't have it in front of me, sorry, but the gal who played Uhura in the new Star Trek.
Yep.
This is going to be a fun film. Trust us, it's going to be great.
Good action,
and
good jokes.
This is going to tie into the cinematic universe of Marvel, where there's going to be something in here that's going to be part of the Gauntlets of Power. There's been talk about this. It's not been made official yet, but there's certain elements.
It could be the Tesseract. It could be the.
There's going to be something completely different. Tesseract has already been introduced. Loki's staff, the mist from Thor 2. There's a variety of different things that have been popping up that are expected to be those gems of power that are going to create the gauntlet that Thanos has. So keep an eye on seeing what the inanimate object that everybody's fighting for that's going to, either destroy or save the world that they're defending. Definitely big, bulking up.
I can't wait to see it. I love the comic book. I can't wait to see the movie and see how they do it. So I'm going to give it double horns way up.
Next up on that will be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, another Michael Bay film, but he's not directing, he is producing. We talked about this last year on our first season of Notes and Nerds.
Yep.
Go back and watch that, see what we had to say back then when it was all speculative information.
Yep.
Now that we've actually seen a real trailer, we are just excited about this. We just are anticipating the arrival in mid-August. Before anybody gets into a rant, we don't know what is the source material exactly. I know that they're using references to the Archie comics in the original 80s cartoon, where April O'Neil is already a reporter. We got Vern Thompson. I mean, the entire channel, whatever news that they're using for the movie, Channel 6 news from the cartoon, those characters are there. Whoopi Goldberg being Vern Thompson, but as a female. The Shredder story is completely new, so we can't use that as a reference point. But as far as like where the Turtles came, where Splinter came from, whether he was originally a rat or Hamato Yoshi, we don't really know just yet. Based on his size, I'm willing to make a bet he started off as a rat. There's a lot of speculation on the origins of all five of the mutants, because there's been a hint that Michael Fishner, playing the Shredder, has actually created the heroes that society needs. So are they a lab experiment on purpose, or were they a accident like in the original source material? Me
personally, like I said in the beginning, Michael Bay gets a lot of flack, but I really want to see what he does with this and how he goes with it. So far on the trailer and the stuff, I like what he's did with the turtles. I like that they're more turtle-like. I like that they did away with the balloon faces and went more with the
naturalistic.
The beak style with the nostril holes. I mean, a lot of people haven't liked it and have had a lot of negative feedback. But me personally, I liked it.
The only worry I have is the Michael Bay humor. This is going to be aimed at families, really, because it's a Nickelodeon project. Production, thank you. If the humor, it's just a mask, see? If that is the extent of what the humor is going to be like, that was a funny joke.
It was very kid friendly.
If it's kid friendly and the humor, but at the same time us adults get it, and I'd love to see some shout outs to classic Ninja Turtle material like they do in the Nickelodeon.
As long as it's not the Transformers.
We're directly under the robots. That was a bad.
It has the crane.
My son was with me. And when he made that joke, my son looked at me and asked me what that was, that particular word, and I explained to him after the theater.
That's adult humor.
That was bad adult humor. So, but regardless, just out of anticipation and excitement for the film, I'm giving it a solid Vulcan up.
I'm giving this a double horns, but I'm also giving this a Turtle 3 way up.
Next up is the sequel to Sin City. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For.
I can't wait to see this. I really like the character of Marv that Mickey Rourke plays.
Yes.
I really, really like it.
This franchise has got a lot going. Frank Miller's, he's a genius when it comes to the comic book
There's
world.
some coming back from the very first, but there's some some that are not with new characters, and I really can't wait to see it. And I really liked the first movie and how he took it from the novel to the screen.
With Frank Miller actually doing the writing and helping with the production,
Yes.
it keeps it very connected to the source material. It keeps it real. Too many times we see people doing comic book movies that have no reference to the original source material and completely ruining it. I mean, yes.
Basically, they have the characters and no reason why they're there.
Yeah, it's understandable that certain elements, like the X-Men films, so they went from the colorful blue and yellows from the comics and went to black leather in the first, in all the X-Men films. It's understandable. Yellow and black tights on Wolverine in a movie just would not made Hugh Jackman intimidating.
No.
So with Sin City,
I'm gonna slice you up. Ooh, don't hurt me.
in Sin City they're keeping that noir black and white feel, but with
The
sporadic
dirty
coloring in
and
there.
gritty feel.
Frank Miller's keeping it true to the source. So, like I said, big Vulcan up.
I'm gonna go Devil Horns. Up.
Next is Expendables 3, starring Sylvester Stallone, of course, along with all the returning cast members from the first two, along with Mel Gibson, Harrison Ford, and Wesley Snipes.
If you're gonna watch this to, for wisdom or, to get some intellect,
If you think you're going to walk out of the theater with some moving experience, no.
this is the bang bang, shoot 'em up, beat
Big
you down, leave you
explosions.
dead action flicks. These are the 80s and 90s icons coming into this movie and reprising their coolness.
This is the movie series that is helping every one of us that have grown up on the playground, saying that such and such actor could beat up such and such actor. This is that answer to that. It's a dream come true movie.
Yeah.
The one that we always would love to have seen growing up and never would have seen.
One was good.
But yeah,
Two
two was
was good.
great. Like I said, these are popcorn films. They're fun. They're just that's all they're for.
And
It's
all
just
the
have fun.
explosions. Most of those explosions are real. And to see the lack of the CGI and just the good old booms, love it.
And if you don't like a good movie with a lot of explosions, you're dead inside.
Yeah.
With this, it's a definite manly Vulcan up.
Double horns in the air, as manly as it can.
Now, we're not going to do our on the fence yet, because this one's one of those hit and misses, but we definitely want to hit solids.
The summer stinkers.
I did not see the first one, and I'm not going to see the second one. 22 Jump Street. I did not like the premise. I did not like the idea. I wasn't a big fan of the original 21 Jump Street in the first place. It just wasn't my thing. I was a kid that, if it didn't have spaceships and swords and dragons and, ultimate evils and ultimate goods, I just wasn't into it. But
Me, on the other hand, I was raised on 21 Jump Street. I really liked it. I'm a Johnny Depp fan. But I was very irritated what they did with the reboot. And now that they made a sequel, I'm sorry, you polish a turd, it's still a turd.
It might
And
be shiny,
the
but it's still a
remake
turd.
was a turd. I mean,
it wasn't even polished.
yeah, it wasn't even polished, it was just spit. But I like the original, 21 Jump Street, and if they would have brought it up to now, doing them in their 30s as cops, with Johnny Depp and all them, I would have been all up on board. But this is a very sad excuse for a movie, and I give it 2 devil horns straight down to heck.
I'm not a big Channing Tatum fan, but he's not a bad actor. I mean, G.I. Joe, the first one, not the crappy
He just
sequel.
gets bad gigs.
He does, but when he was in the first G.I. Joe film, I really thought he did pretty good at it. Jonah Hill, I've never really been a fan of. He's the only thing I've seen him in that I actually thought was good was Frozen.
Yeah.
Oleg. And Ice Cube. Ice Cube is definitely a hit and a miss for me. When he plays the family-oriented comic roles, he's kind of fun. But when he's trying to play the bad thug on TV, he comes off kind of fake. And that's kind of sad when he grew up in Compton.
Yep.
When you sound fake as a thug and you grew up in Compton. I visited Compton when I was in infantry training in the Marine Corps. Had a friend who lived there. If you can't act like a thug coming from there, you've gotten soft. Now I just hope he doesn't try to come kick my ass. You know?
Okay, the next movie we're going to talk about.
For me, 22 Jump Street, I'm not even going to, heck with the hand stuff, I'm not even going to see it. That's how bad I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to, it doesn't even deserve a rating.
Next one is Planes, Fire, and Rescue.
They're going to need a lot of rescue from the fire that they're putting themselves in.
Yeah. All Planes was just cars with wheels.
Wings.
And, yeah, cars with, it's not even good for a good description. I know it's a family movie. I know it's supposed to be an
Pixar too.
It's
sad.
It's supposed to be a off branch of Cars, and I like Cars, and I liked Cars too. But this is just showing that they're running out of gas.
They're running out of nice pun there.
Yeah, there we go.
They're just the ideas are running short. They come up with some good ones, like Brave was a good one.
Yeah.
But Planes is just not exciting. They're going to be standing up against Dragons too, and they're going to get obliterated. So
it's like, what's next? Trucks.
But yeah, they're taking
bikes.
They're taking planes and they're cashing in on two things that seem to be really popular with kids: is rescue vehicles and fire trucks. Just because it works doesn't mean it's going to work. So I'm sorry, but I give it to Vulcan down.
And mine's getting devil horns down. I don't want to take my kids to see this. I don't want to see it. I wish that it was maybe a Cars 3, but it's not, so don't care.
Moving on, our one movie that we don't really know how to judge because it's
kind of on the fence about this one because
we got Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, John Hurt, and Ian McShane in Hercules. I saw last year's Hercules movie. It was crap.
I mean, yeah, it did have the guy from Twilight, but you know what? That always can't help your...
Twilight was crap, so I wouldn't even use... That's a movie I wouldn't even put on my resume if I was an actor.
I don't mind the book series. I didn't like the movie.
The book sucked too.
Vampires should not be sparkly. Vampires should be the Lost Boys.
Lost Boys, or I'll even say Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Good one.
If you're going to go vampires, if there's anything they should be like is, Dracula.
Bram Stoker.
Stoker, not Stoker. Stoker sounds like something you don't want to be involved in.
Or Nosferatu.
Nosferatu is actually German for vampire.
Yes, I know.
So, all the same. So anyway, Hercules looks like it's going to be cashing in on the let's take a Greek myth and turn it into a big action summer blockbuster from Hollywood. They take all the original Greek mythology and source material and go, we'll just use a little bit here and a little bit there and then do whatever we want, like they did with Hercules' Legendary Journey. This is one of those, if you look at the trailer, it's a lot of big action and excitement, but it looks like Hercules is going to be...
To me, it looks like Wrath of the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Like a really bad knockoff. I like the way, The Rock's character looks because for once he actually has hair and a beard.
It's like if it's like the Scorpion King, it could be a good movie, but I think it's just going to be one of those movies that it's going to be aimed at the popcorn genre.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything that's going to be that great. And the bad thing that
you're better off eating your popcorn.
The one thing I hate about these movies based off of Greek mythology is all these dimwits that come out and start quoting the movies, or like Hercules' Legendary Journey and Xena. I remember entering chat rooms back in the day when those were still on the air, and you had these kids talking about, oh, I love Greek mythology. Do you remember when Hercules did this and this and that? Hercules didn't do that except on the TV show. You don't like Greek mythology, you like television.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen here, is you're going to get more...
Just because it got made into a movie, it doesn't mean it's true.
Doesn't mean it's accurate anyways, because even the Hercules stories, they're just legends. Yeah. So, but we're on the fence for it. It could be a fun film to watch. Then again, it could just be one of those movies where you just get a massive migraine from.
I like The Rock in the Fast and Furious series. He did really good.
Well, yeah, I'm not bashing The Rock on this. I'm bashing.
But I think he might have got into a bad movie role.
He's done it before.
So I'm sorry. I'm going to have to give this a dead even devil horns. I hope it's good. I really do. It'll help his.
We're hoping.
It'll better his career.
This way he doesn't have to rely on a paycheck from Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
So, that pretty much concludes our list there.
Yep.
And that concludes our episode, folks, where we talked about the summer blockbuster films we want to see.
And we talked about the summer stinkers we don't want to see.
And of course, there was that one, we're not sure.
On the fence.
Yeah.
You'll have to be your own,
judge on that one. Let us know.
Yeah.
So don't forget, folks, you can follow us on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter.
And don't forget to check out our website at notesandnerds.com. And don't forget to see our previous season on YouTube.
And with that, folks, we're also doing our product line still. So if you have any merchandise items that you think we should carry or have some ideas for general merchandise, let us know by emailing us at these URLs right here below. Either Eric at notesandnerds.com or Nathan at notesandnerds.com. So with that, guys,
Kumbaya!
Little